Okay, so the microphone is live at this point, and we are recording. What we're really doing with these is numbers are made up of two parts. One is real, and the other is imaginary. So I want to take a number that's like 3i with a 4 added onto it. Which part of that number is the imaginary? 3i. The 3i. Which part's the real?
4.
So I want a place that I can touch this. So the way that we do that is we make ourselves an x-axis, and we make ourselves a y-axis. We're going to call this one the imaginary axis. And we're going to call this one the real axis. So if I wanted to show you where 3i and 4 is, I would count up 1, 2, 3 for the 3i part. And I would count over 1, 2, 3, 4 for the real. And we have a place that ends up out here. We show this with a vector. A vector is something that has length and it has direction. So there is an arrow where you touch 3i and 4. What we would also like to do is talk about these. So that I can do that a little bit easier, I'm going to give him a name. I think his name ought to be A. And I put that funny little arrow over the top, meaning that he is vector A. I want to talk about how long that vector is. I need a name for that. That's called the modulus. The modulus is simply a fancy word to say how long is he. Now, you folks tell me, if you walk over 4 and you go up 3, how would you find out how long the arrow is? No.
You would know that it's 5 because 3, 4, 5.
So once again, Robert, how did I know it was 5?
Because of the Pythagorean triple 3, 4, 5.
Right. So it always will be.
Oh my gosh. I can never remember.
Can you get an answer of 5 without too much trouble?
Yeah.
So the modulus is something that we will symbolize by going absolute value signs, which makes sense because distance is simply an absolute value.
But that's 7. 4 and 3 is 7. No.
Okay.
16
3
plus
squared
9
plus 4
is
squared.
25. Square root of 25 is 5. Because 3 squared plus 4 squared should equal 5. And if you square root both those, then...
Now, would you notice that you've now discovered that you've got to do the addition inside there before you would take the square root? So you've just proven to yourself that the square roots can't just distribute through. So you had to do it like this. You had to do the 3 squared and the 4 squared, and work out to be 25 to get the 5.
Yeah. I was like, that.
Yep, everybody sees that a little bit weird. So that is a modulus. And now when you look at some of the sample quiz for tomorrow, well, you know how to find a modulus.
But how does it have to... I see that you squared the 3 and the 4, but why?
Because this guy is a triangle,
Oh.
and he is a right triangle.
But why are we finding the triangle?
Because we want to know how long is he.
You want to know how long so you
So I want to know that distance, which you'll notice is also called the distance formula.
Okay.
So
I was just confused as why.
somebody once said that all my classes the Pythagorean theorem, and they're kind of right. It's just the Pythagorean theorem. Yep.
So I get this one completely, and then sample quiz where it's not like a perfect.
So you would just leave it in there. So let's go ahead and do one like that. So if I had something that was, say, 2i and a 3, then the modulus
I don't know how to do it. Calipers.
is going to be 2 squared and 3 squared. Folks, what does that work out to be?
4 plus 9 is 30.
Good.
13 square root is.
Is the square root of 13 work out? So it's just the square root of 13. Yep. Not everything works out easily. So the other thing we need to talk about is something called a conjugate.
He was just an example, but number 9 is like a non-perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll also tell you that I'm recording here, so I'll try and put them on YouTube, which we have now blocked. Well, you notice that they're trying to work, Erica, they're trying to work through this so that we get our access back. You also know I can take them home and load them at home for you. I don't have to do that at school.
Plus 16 squared.
Wait, so why if we start calling the hypotenuse the modulus?
I have no idea.
4 times 4.
Yeah, it just
Because it's the same thing, right?
it
Yeah.
likes to complicate things. But we're not gonna let it complicate them.
So it's answer squared.
We really want it.
Fine.
So, folks, am I at a place? Just a second. You still need it?
Yeah. Well, just a little
What
bit
if
more.
there's a
What's after the 16? Square root of what?
Get out of your way.
What if there's like say a negative 3i, just go down then?
Yeah.
So you can go negative. Okay.
So now you've got a place you can touch them. And that makes us, for some reason, being humans, we like that better if we can reach out and touch
The
stuff.
arrow can go in any column.
Yep. I think I've reached my time limit, so.